Hey, boys and girls, I wanted to share with you today the next reference source that we are going to be learning about, which is the Encyclopedia. And this goes with our third grade learning standard that we've been working on, which is that students will begin to use print and non print reference materials and recognize their unique features. So we've already talked about dictionaries and how to use them. We've practiced using them. We've talked about atlases and practiced using those. We've talked about the thesaurus, and now we are going to be talking about the encyclopedia. Now, the encyclopedia is a reference source that you can use when you are looking to start researching for a report. You may just be looking for the answer to a question, or you might want to just look into a topic that you're interested in. And just like the others, there are two types of encyclopedias. I can look at a print encyclopedia, like these shown here, where I actually hold the book in my hands and open it and turn the pages, or I can look at an online encyclopedia, and we're going to be using World Book Encyclopedia, and you're already pretty familiar with that website. So we'll be digging into that next week. Print encyclopedias, which are what we're going to talk about today, are a whole set of books that contain information about many different subjects. And there's so much information that the book would be gigantic, bigger than any of us could hold or carry at one time. So, what they do is they divide it up into many different smaller books, and they're all sold together as a set. And each individual book is called a volume. Okay. So if I look here, I can see that these volumes are numbered. So I have volume 1, volume 2, volume 3, volume 4. Some that we're going to look at later are labeled with different letters. And so the labeling can be a little bit different, but they're all divided up into different volumes. Volumes are organized by alphabetical order, which makes it easy to find out which book will contain the information on the topic that you are interested in. And so usually they'll have the numbers on them, like you see here at the bottom, 1 through all the way to 18. And then you'll see A, B, C, all the way to Z. Okay. Some of the volumes have more than one letter. Like, for example, this one has I's and J's. And this one, the C's are too much information to fit in just one volume, so it actually has two. So you would have to pay close attention to which one you would need if you were looking up a topic that started with the letter C. The subjects are arranged in alphabetical order under guide words. So, just like we looked at in the dictionary, there's going to be some bold words at the top called guide words that help us know what information is on each page. So, this would be a volume that contained all of the F's. And on this page, I can read about flags. And on the next page in ABC order, I can see the word flowers, and I'll find information there about the topic of flowers. This is a picture I took about an encyclopedia that we have at Maple. I was thinking, well, what if we had the topic of the Eiffel Tower? So, first we would have to figure out which volume we needed that had the E's. And then we would need to turn the pages until we got to the EIs. And then we would need to watch the guide words until we saw Eiffel Tower. And you can see this is kind of what looks like two small paragraphs about the Eiffel Tower. So, if I was doing a research report, it wouldn't be enough to use for the entire report, but it would be a really good place to get me started. Okay. When you begin to research, it's best to begin with what's called a general information source like the encyclopedia. This is where you can get some general kind of basic information about a topic. This has been edited, and encyclopedia is edited by a bunch of editors and usually experts on each individual subject or field. And it's a great place to build background knowledge. It might help you think of keywords that you could type in if you were going to do an internet search to find out more or deeper information. And it would be helpful in maybe thinking about some additional sources you could use for your report. So if I had the topic of dinosaurs, okay, I would have to think, well, which volume would that be in? So dinosaur starts with the letter D. So I would need to look at all of the volumes, and I can see here that the letter D is in volume 5. So I would need to grab volume 5 off the shelf, And then I would need to turn the pages until I found DI. And then I would need to look just like in a dictionary until I specifically found dinosaur. And then I would be able to read the little article that would be there with information about dinosaurs. So we're going to do some practice on which volume you would find different topics in. So for this one, if I wanted information about the country Argentina, which is in South America, I would need to grab volume 1 for the A's, and I would need to open it up and again turn the pages until I found Argentina. This is an example of what I might see there. So I can see a photograph of maybe what the buildings look like. I can see its flag. I can see a little map of the country. I can see several article topics. So here's some information about its government, its court system. Here's some facts. I can find the capital city. So it's a really great place to start if I'm doing a report on that topic. So we are going to practice. If you are looking up a topic that has more than one word, for example, let's think about a person like George Washington. If I were looking up George Washington, I would need to look in the W's for his last name. Okay, so I'm going to go through and I'm going to see, oh, the W's are found in volume 18. So I would need to look in volume 18 to find information about George Washington. If I am looking at a place that has more than two parts, so for example, the Grand Canyon, I'm going to go with just the first word for that. So I would need to find the G's. So I'm going to look through. G's are found in volume number 7. So I would need to open that up and turn in ABC order until I found GR and then look down until I could find Grand Canyon. So here are your practice questions. So keep that in mind. If you're looking up a person, you're going to go by their last name. And if you're looking up a place with more than one word, you're going to go by the first word, okay? The first letter in the first word. Also, I should have mentioned that encyclopedias are where you can find information about people, places, things, and then animals as well. Okay. So I like to say you can find information about nouns in an encyclopedia. Okay. You can't look up every single thing in the whole world, but it's going to have information about most nouns, important places, people, inventions, things like that. All right, so if our question was, what are the 4 types of karate? I want you to tell me which volume we would look in to figure that out, okay? The 4 types of karate. And we would think, well, what do we need to look up? Our topic would be karate. Karate starts with the letter K, so we would need to come down and grab volume number 9. Your next question is, in what year was Abraham Lincoln born? Okay, so if I want to find that out, which volume of the encyclopedia would I need to grab? And remember, we talked about how important people will be found under the first letter of their last name. So for Lincoln, we're going to look under the L's. And if I look through the volumes, that's going to be found in volume number 9. When was the first Valentine's Day celebrated? Okay. Which volume would I look in to find that information? When I look through my set, I'm looking for V for Valentine's Day, and V's are near the end in volume number 17. If I want to find out how many rooms are in the White House, which volume would I look in? And for that question, I have to think, what's my topic? And it's White House. I want to find out information about the White House. So I'm going to look under W and I'm going to go through my volumes until I see the W's, which are all the way at the end in volume number 18. My next question is, how many legs do arachnids have? So if I want to find out that question, what volume number am I going to look in? My keyword or my topic is arachnids, which starts with A. So I'm going to look in volume number 1. In what year did Georgia become a state? If I want to find that out, which volume will I look in? And for that one, Georgia, starting with the letter G, is my topic. So I'm going to look through, and that's going to be found in volume number 7. How many eyes does a bee have? So if I want to find out information about a bee, which volume am I going to look in? And that is going to be volume number 2 that has the bees. What are the names of the 9 planets in our solar system? And I think actually now they consider us to have 8. But if I want to know the planet names, which volume would I look in? And for that one, I'm going to look in the P for planet. Okay. I might also be able to look up solar system, and I may be able to find the information there. Or if I looked in the P's and it wasn't there, I may need to try the S's. So in that one, there's 2 places where I could possibly need to look for that information. So those are all of our practice questions today, but I did want to show you that so far we've been learning about what's called a general encyclopedia, which means that each topic is all in the same set of books. But there are some different types of encyclopedias. You may be more familiar with these, which are called topical encyclopedias. And what that means is that the whole book is about only one topic instead of having lots of different topics inside of it. So I showed you some examples. Here's an entire encyclopedia that is just about dinosaurs. Here's another one that is just about bugs. And here's another one that is just about planet Earth. So you can sometimes find an encyclopedia that is only about one topic, and that's called a topical encyclopedia. And like I mentioned at the beginning, there is another type of encyclopedia that is found online. We're going to be looking at that more next time, and we're going to figure out and learn how to navigate an online encyclopedia and do some practice with finding information. We will use World Book Encyclopedia next week to continue our learning and our research. And here's just a little example when I typed in Panda of what I can get. The online encyclopedia is nice because you can tell that it's got some sound features. Sometimes there's some videos that go along with the topic I'm learning about. I can usually see more photographs than I get to see in the print encyclopedia. So it can be a really powerful learning tool as well. Thanks for tuning in today, you guys. I will see you back next week.